If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you're aware that China and Russia have been almost relentlessly hacking the United States. Well, now Congress is considering banning TikTok, which about half of the United States uses because it's owned by a Chinese company. This is really big because as we're entering into the 2024 election cycle, TikTok has 170 million monthly active users in the US, more than half the total US population by age, and is owned by a Chinese company, ByteDance. And this is a problem, as you can see here, because, as you can see right here from Google, it is well established that Chinese firms are required to share information with intelligence services under various laws, including the National Intelligence Law. Or, in other words, when a company is owned by a Chinese company, they are required to share information with the Chinese government when the government asks for it. And the problem here is that over half of the United States has downloaded the TikTok app and has collected information on you, on your personal data. And a lot of, even more, probably even 2/3 of America has downloaded TikTok at one point or another, even if they don't use it actively. This app can collect information on you and on your phone and on your whereabouts, on your location, and who knows what it is collecting on your phone. Even if you just downloaded it once and never used it, or only, used it one time. And remember, over 170 million people actively use it. Take a look at what Congress is debating right now.
Tonight, the battle to ban TikTok intensifying in Washington, with House leaders confirming they'll vote next week on a bill that would effectively ban the app, unless it's sold by its Chinese parent company, ByteDance.
We can't have a foreign-controlled social media app pushing misinformation, certainly not to our children.
After the bill was introduced earlier this week, TikTok blasted out this message, urging users to call their members of Congress and demand they vote against it. Sydney Rosiak, who makes her money as an influencer, did just that.
What would it mean for you if TikTok were to be banned?
First of all, that is my career, so my career would be gone.
Lawmakers say their phones rang off the hook.
Well, I kind of went into mom mode, right? Because I know that TikTok has really weaponized our young people. I took it into my own hands, got on the phone, and tried to explain to our young people why we're doing what we're doing.
TikTok's pressure campaign appears to have backfired. In a rare show of bipartisanship, a House committee voted unanimously in favor of the legislation. This isn't the first time the U.S. has tried to limit TikTok. In 2020, former President Donald Trump attempted to ban the app with an executive order. Last year, TikTok's top executive was grilled on the Hill.
We have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
Well, you know what?
I
find that actually preposterous.
Tonight, TikTok saying this will damage millions of businesses and destroy the livelihoods of countless creators. Mr. Trump now expressing concerns about the new legislation, saying it could make Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg more powerful, while President Biden says he supports it.
If they pass it, I'll sign it.
Yeah, as you can see, the problem here between this, but the other problem here is that over half the United States uses TikTok, similar to YouTube or Facebook. It's a social media platform. But if it was banned, this would be a first of its kind. We've never seen this. Florida is actively pushing to ban all social media platforms for teens 16 or under. It was actually passed and sent to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk, but he vetoed it. Now he's actually sending it back to be revised. He says he will potentially pass it, but he wants it to be revised and sent to be revised for teens under 14 So we have some very unprecedented times here. Meanwhile, this comes here as the FBI director has warned about this exact thing, or this kind of thing, coming from China. Take a listen here.
China's multi-pronged assault on our national and economic security make it the defining threat of our generation. There has been far too little public focus on the fact that PRC hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure, our water treatment plants, our electrical grid, our oil and natural gas pipelines, our transportation systems, and the risk that poses to every American requires our attention now. China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities if and when China decides the time has come to strike. To quantify what we're up against, the PRC has a bigger hacking program than that of every major nation combined. In fact, if you took every single one of the FBI's cyber agents and intelligence analysts and focused them exclusively on the China threat, China's hackers would still outnumber FBI cyber personnel by at least 50 to 1. I do not want those watching today to think we can't protect ourselves. But I do want the American people to know that we cannot afford to sleep on this danger.
And Chinese migrants are the fastest growing group crossing from Mexico into the U.S. At the southern border. Also, don't forget that they have been found crossing the northern border from Canada into the United States. Makes you wonder why thousands of Chinese nationals are coming into the United States, coming all the way from China. Why do they want to come into the United States so suddenly? Also, there was a story on this one little gap in this border fence here that you can see here in this picture that is 60 miles east of San Diego, coming through a 4-foot gap at the border fence. And they filmed it. And over 4 days, they witnessed nearly 600 migrants pass through this small little gap. Adults and children pass through this hole and onto U.S. soil unchecked. They witnessed people from India, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. Many of the Chinese migrants who came through will end up asking for political asylum. And these are people that just come through and go into the United States illegally and just run rampant. One of these guys was a guy that a Chinese national from, and he said his trip from China took 40 days. Kind of makes you wonder. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for liking and share these videos with anybody that needs to hear this information. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the bell icon after you subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Click here to see a huge win that just happened for Trump, or click here to see what's happening on March 11th. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.